This is called Touhou Immortal Immanuel. Volume warning, because all games open up with 100% volume, and ball volume sliders overcompensate because it's easier to lower volume than it is to hit maximum. And I don't really have to explain this to you, I imagine. Anyway, I don't know why that's capturing, because I've never opened this game before in my life. So you want to know the fun part? I don't know what window that is. I don't know what window that is, and I have to find it now. Oh, I found it. Got it. Can you hear me? 0? 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 Alright, controller settings. Gameplay up. Left thumb negative Y. I'm setting this to D-pad. Gameplay focus. Left shoulder. Left shoulder. Gameplay. Shoot. A. Spell card. X. Special. B. Dialogue. A. Skip. Back. Playback fast. Playback slow. Okay. I know. I know how I am. Alright. Alright. Game is too loud. No shit. That's why I turned it down. After explicitly saying that all games are loud. Manual. Nobody reads the manual. Okay. When you get hit with less than 3 bombs, you'll respond with 3 bombs. Enter dialogue while a cognitive link is active. What? Media stage will unlock the corresponding practice stage for the difficulty. Alright, let's just play the game. Wu Yang, Fortress of the Qin. Zhao Han, Impotence of the Six Kings. Gozu, Stalwart Heart of the Great Wall. Zhui Long, Last Stand of the Shang. Alright, well, let's just do normal. I am Reimu and Akyu. People's Reassuring Guardian. The traditional homing shot type for a smooth and relaxed experience. Marissa and Okina. High damage, wide area shot type for getting up close and personal. Clown Piece and Junko. Exuberance flush with lunatic air. Homing attack, piercing lasers for dealing with any number of enemies. Contra Heaven Agent of Chaos, Seija and Shimmy. I like how Shimmy doesn't get a portrait because she's small enough to just stick there anyway. Slow rate of fire with deployable minion for countless gameplay possibilities. Visitors clear as Aquamarine, Akira Kirisame, and Rolla. A belated Easter egg. Enjoy their powerful shot type. Nah, I'm good. I want to play as the clown. I'm gonna play as the clown. Hyper full. I'm a clown, bitch. It's a clown attack, bitch. Whoa. Outskirts of the human village. You know, one of my favorite aspects of Touhou games is when they have way too much dialogue to humanly read in the stage introduction text, but you it's on screen for about less than a second. So it's just like, here's all these words, and it's like, bro, I don't have time. It has a very Touhou 9-esque snare in there. fairy looks like Aku. The little Aku fairies. Aku would hate that. There's a circle around me that kind of looks like a health bar, an enemy health bar. But I didn't read how the game works. Akako Kojiyaku. I'm afraid of pressing the B button at risk of it doing something that I can never take back. I am, however, aware of what a bomb is. She has antennas, chat. Also, those are just up there and they're fading away and I can't go get them. Okay, well those are gone now, I guess. So it has a 10 desires aspect where things shoot out around the boss and just sit there and fade away. Yep. One of my favorite, that's one of my favorite mechanics in 10 desires. Right alongside it being 10 desires, of course, as you know. As it were. As it were. I mean, it's doing that for the yellow thing too, but I don't know what the yellow thing is. Boss. So, where am I heading to exactly? You're gonna meet someone even better at twisting minds than you are. Uh-huh. Don't get it. Hey, fairy. Yes, you! Wait, a fairy? She's got an antenna. She's Glorp. Is this who you were talking about? Oh, she's a sake bug. The stomach's winemaker. I'm a Kako, the sake bug merchant. Unfortunately, you're too young to drink alcohol, so I'll be off now. That's not true. Oh ho ho! Now you've done it for spoiling the mood of Calampeace, the great fairy of hell. Prepare to have your wine turn into magnificent hellfire. Okay. Chat, her torch looks like that candy. You know, okay, how do I explain this? Her torch looks like that candy. I think it's called like Nudo or Pudu. It's like you mix it with water and it turns into like this texture candy. Do you know what that is? I don't even know if you know what that is. I barely know what that is. Artisan medicine fermented alcohol. It also kind of looks like a peep. If you're familiar with a peep from like, you know, existing in North America, that really shitty Easter quote-unquote candy that's just like a little bird. It has like the texture of that. Everybody got peeps. They came free with your Easter chocolate. Yeah, I don't know what the special button does. I'm kind of scared to click it. I'm kind of scared to click it for that reason. Oh. I'm sure it's a very helpful technique. Yeah. I'm sure it's helpful. I just don't know what it does, so I'm scared to press it. Hey! What gives? You burned all my wine. Hey, what gives? Why's the person we're looking for so weak? Now, she's merely a passerby. You had your fun, let's keep going. Bomb clear bonus. Alright. In plains, the forget-me-not blooms. I like the rounded bullets, they're kind of neat. I think I got hit. I heard a noise that seemed to me to indicate that I got hit. But I don't see anything different. Hyper ready. Okay. Whoa. Ooh, the rings are cool. I didn't go enough of the line. Will he ever click the special button? Well, I'll think about it. Alright, I clicked it. I clicked it. What happened? It blew up the screen. it blew up the screen. Do I turn it off now? I have a bar that's going down. Okay, it's green cleared when it finished up. Whoa. I imagine balancing shmups can be a real pain in the ass. Yayoi Shoyo-san. Mainly because, like, you want the player to experience enough of the bullet pattern to be like, that was cool, but not make them experience too much of it, because then they're just like, this is annoying. So you need to find a balance of her health to assume the player is going to fight them, like, optimally. And when doing that, you can show off about as much as the spell card as needs to be shown off before it becomes tiresome. But then you have timeout spells, where the spell isn't even interesting until the last 5 seconds, where it's like, it's just kind of like, fuck you. So timeout spells aren't really good. The only timeout spell I think is cool is Yokai Polygraph, but even then, that one still takes a little too long. Goodness, to think such a powerful fairy could exist, or is it that only such powerful fairies are fit to be your servants, Miss Spirit? Want a bite of my marshmallow? Hey, you sound like you know your stuff. Yep, I am the great and mighty clown piece, fairy of hell. Oh, a yokai from the times of Wu the Great. Come to live a quiet life in the mountain of Yingzhou, have you? That's Yingzhou, and then untethered wayfarer versed in the world. You're friends with Lady Hecatia's friend, then you're also one of Clown Piece's friends. If you know anything fun up ahead, feel free to let me know as well. Don't be so impatient, Clown Piece. If she were to speak, we wouldn't get the joy off solving her riddles. Is she a monkey? And allow me to surmise what you wish to see. Flip side of the world. Truth of the mirror. She's got a tail, and she doesn't have any predominant animal ears, so I assume she's a monkey. Any day now, monkey. Obscure dreamscape. Wait, more drunkards? Everybody in this fucking series just drinks. That's it. That's all they do. They drink and start fights. It's amazing this game doesn't take place in Ireland. Oi, 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 oi. Step 1, go to a bar. Step 2, drink. Step 3, start a fight. That's Touhou, baby. You just cut out the bar part. Whoa, Jesus! I'm stuck. Okay. Well, that was a little odd when you say. Is that my fault? I don't know if you can call that my fault, man. I was just moving around. Bum, 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 bum. I like this one speeds up. Ooh, yeah, you can hear it speeding up. Alright. Impressive. These are quite the memories you've stirred up. Well, I never seen Lady Hecatia's friends so deep in thought before. No dialogue for you. Lest Bahavagra be above these clouds. A lot of fairy maids flying away. Oh shit, it's raining. It's actually really nice. Look at that, there's rain effects on my actual screen. Just gonna wait my turn. rain's getting stronger. I like the aesthetic of the stage a lot, actually. Clown Piece's wide shot is doing a lot of work right now. I just need to be careful I don't get spawn hit. Oh, you guys are getting a little low. There's no merit to me grabbing all this stuff, but I gotta admit it feels good. That's an animal. 3 tails, the clouds form. I can't hit that, okay. Oh, things that go bump in the night! Thanks. Rainbow waves. Oh. Hey, what's with all the clouds here? If there's something fun going on here, I probably can't see it. Don't you have a torch? Why not play with that? No, it's a marshmallow. A useless torch may as well sit in a corner. A fairy? Kee, you look like you could be fun. And you are? Udija. It's you 3 fairies of light number 4. You guys play all the way out here too. How dare you call me that? Kee, it seems the name of Clown Piece, the Hell Fairy, has spread far and wide. Kee, really? Cloud... Colorful feathers floated in white clouds. You can call me Miss Zaya. I can't come from the clouds. I've seen Yokai Mountain's river spiral out of control, but I wonder... Oh, shit. Let's play together and find out. Oh, that's a fucking tonal shift. I didn't read fast enough. If I stay back here, she can't hit me. Yoink. What? Oh, I think that happened because I focused. that was strange. And this is claustrophobic. Oh my god. Ay ay ay. Moon stepping. Just gonna press that button and be safe, I think. Oh. Ooh. It's kind of hard to keep track of, actually. Bonus failed. What? Did you hit me? It looks like I lost. You're such a strong and powerful Hell Fairy, Clown Piece. Huh? That's it? I was just getting started. Don't worry, you see, there's even more fun to be had above the clouds in heaven. Unfortunately, Miss Zaya was no match for them and got kicked out. But if it were the great clown piece... Sure, I've already seen the depths of the darkest abyss, but never the apex of the brightest light. Heaven, here I come. Whoa, where did that come from? She wiggles. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Gensokyo or another land entirely. Well, to be fair, how much of the Touhou actually takes place in Gensokyo? There's just a lot of places that connect from Gensokyo for some reason. Another world isn't part of it. No. Hyper full charge. That fairy reminds me of Madoka Magica. Just press that button. What does that mean, streamer? It means like a meme that I saw on the internet. That's what it means. She looks like the Forbidden Love meme. Gauche. What? Am I in a spell card? Mountain poison. Ooh, bubbles. They're pretty. Okay. Whoa! Oh my god. Ah. Enough! Stop! What have I done? Hyper ready. You dead? Am I dead? Are we dead? Who's dead? Okay. I just got poemed on. Heaven is so cool. It's purple and it's white and then it goes all sparkly. To gaze at the obscured gloom of the world is akin to drifting alone in the vast sea. Traveler whose disgust for impurity brought you to the foreign lands, I bid you welcome back to Yunmengmush. Oh, is that you, Lord Yunzong? No, I am but a humble shrine maiden. Silent guardian of Hurong, Duanmu Lanzo. Okay. So the person in charge of this place's offerings doesn't even have to be a human. How curious. Wait, so you mean like yokai can be shrine maidens in heaven? Wowie! And what distinction dwells betwixt man and yokai? For if man can discern the heavens through the classics, so can yokai study the world's natural law. For a wise sage once said, "Aught under heaven grow without contradiction." How do you purport myself not fit for managing offerings simply because my race differs from a human shrine maiden? What? Yeah, me too, clown. I apologize. The surroundings here are completely different from the times past, and I see that you've not wondered at competence. May I ask your opinion regarding the balance link that prevents our future passage? That is so much fucking word! They say that the mandarins grow in the south and the north of Sweden, bitter respectively. Is my humblest opinion that a northern mandarin has no business acrobating the southern lake. Use less words! Then I do believe negotiations have broken down. Either use less words or make more text boxes, because you can't read all that at a normal human speed. before it fucking ticks over. If I just stand here, nobody will notice. Problem. Huge problem. Monumental problem. My nose is itchy. My nose is itchy. Well, I don't really feel like what just happened there was my fault, but whatever. Whoa. Triple A! I don't know where I'm supposed to stand, so I'm just gonna assume these are safe spots. And I don't touch the center of them. This makes more sense, but in the moment I thought that it was hiding the bullets, and I was like, how am I supposed to do that? Oh, sweet relief. As the wise sage once said, failure to apply classics unto reality will cause it to flounder. Failure to exploit the land will cause defenses to crumble, thus begets my defeat. This isn't your usual miasma. My hunch is correct, and the northern mandarins have already embittered the lake. Yikes, now that I get a good look at it, the water really is purple. Water in heaven's so yucky. I don't have to go down there, do I? It is a simple fact that even the most formidable of barriers can't stop the miasma of the human heart. Let us proceed. It won't be any worse than hell at any rate. Clown piece, I relate heavily to you. They're over here talking philosophy and shit, and I'm just like, what? What? The water's purple. Man, I sure hope I don't have to fuck with that. Yeah, me too, clown. As a wise man once said, I don't fucking care what a wise man once said. Purple water. Purple water! Purple's my favorite color. I love purple. Well, it wouldn't be a Touhou game without dialogue that means literally nothing to the player, huh? Yep, I sure did learn. Isn't it fascinating? Yeah, I'm sure it is, but it is still funny how they throw so much shit at you in the dialogue. And it's just like, I don't even know what this means. Go figure it out then. Yeah, but I don't care enough to figure it out. But Marissa made a JoJo's reference. Yeah, she did, didn't she? Holy Lightspeed Highway. Never in my life has anyone reached this far until now. Your strength is to be commended, but this is as far as you'll go. If a text box has more than 2 sentences in it, I don't have enough time to read it. I got hit again. So I'm starting to think the game has some built-in shield like 19 does. Or if you get hit, you kind of have like a defense action. Because I've been hit at least 3 times, but I don't think I've lost a single life. Well, okay. Still alive, but I definitely got hit there. Stop. Stop with the L's. Hyper ready. I love Woodwind. Woodwind is so good. Look at this place. It's so revolting, so creepy, so exciting. That won't do, dear. The closer we are to the endgame, the more necessary it is to remain calm. So the enemy has already reached the gates. Come what may, I shall stand my ground until I breathe my last. Heroic spirit of thunder. Chao He Yingdu. Tell me then, how exactly does someone cooped up in her grave and can scarcely hold on to her own existence plan to prolong this game that can only end in a loss? Hold your tongue! Not only did you abandon your kingdom, you even raised an army against your rightful liege. Besieging a city demands 10 times its strength, yet ought you send a nameless pawn. How could the mandate of heaven fall into your hands? Hey, I'm the great and powerful fairy of hell, not some nameless pawn. Oh, she's listening. I've no ties to that dynasty from thousands of years ago, nor do I have any interest in conquering this worthless land. You could even say that we are the defenders. My breath is wasted on you. My thunder shall prevent you from taking one more step. You have less spell cards than the other lady. Chat, I've entered a new monumental, game-defining problem. My nose is itchy again. And I didn't scratch it before I started because it wasn't itchy until I pressed the button. Alright, I'm good. I'm not good. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. Whatever it is you just did wasn't fair. You can't have your spell card go, this attack now hits directly into you with no build-up. I hate knowledge checks. Fuck knowledge checks. I ain't going up there. The Millennium Eye. See, this one gave good warning. This one gave very good warning that something was gonna happen. That last one was just like, get whipped, asshole. Like, alright. Guess I'll just fucking eat it. The Millennium items that let you cheat at children's card games. Yeah, those ones is very same. The very same. Grand Flame Pillar. See, that one also had good warning that some shit was about to happen to me. I keep doing that on instinct, because I think like I'm death bombing, but in actuality, I think I'm just kind of hitting. Oh, this is just like a 45-second timeout. Oh, I died. This reminds me of Miko's spell card, the penultimate one. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is just that spell card. It really seems like it. checkmate. Look at that, the gate's open and there's a big palace inside. These fluctuations, I suppose I'll need to call Hikatia over to help. Miscount 1. Miscount 1, no bonus score. Okay. I made a mistake, I got hit. Does the text auto-scroll? Yes. The text auto-scrolls. I only skip it when I'm done reading, but it skips before I'm done reading. Solid auto-scrolls too fast for how many fucking words are on the screen. Deer Terrace Pavilion. Wait, am I gonna fight a deer? I see the temple over there. We're just moving really, really slow. Either that or it's really, really fucking big. This is also like Miko's stage, where the fairies come in with the train behind them, and you kill the lead one, and they all die. This is literally Miko's fucking spell card! The wash cycle. Oh, a double. Oh, the puppy's back. Wait, it's not a puppy anymore. Are you dead or what? Oh, that was a cool transition to go into the temple, actually. Covering the screen like that. That's pretty well executed. Whoa. Should I be, like, doing something with those? This place is so strange. Looked like the coolest thing ever from afar, but the inside is a burnt up mess. It looks pretty fucking cool on the inside. The 5 stars show themselves again, just like it was with Sheng Tong overthrew the Zaya. They say the gathering of the 5 stars signifies the change of times. The virtuous shall be celebrated and the wicked punished. Do you truly think yourself fit for celebration when you're as wicked as you are? Show yourself already. Yincho. The forebears of the Shang have received the mandate of heaven, brought peace and prosperity throughout the Middle Kingdom. My name is Ying Cho, heir to the throne, bane of all rebels. I'll not name a sullied by a self-proclaimed divine spirit. Yep. Wow, this is the only text box that didn't skip. Oh, there you go. False god whose truth vilifies the red. Oh. The defeated king has returned to the earth from whence he came, but I am the god who presides over victory and defeat, the lord of Tianzi Star. Ha, is this some sort of joke? Are you not also proclaiming yourself a god? In legends, folktales, histories, and even urban legends, no such god of victory exists. Besides, the dead shouldn't concern themselves with lofty titles. History, don't make me laugh. History being written by the victors is the universal law. Your so-called history is nothing more than the victor's remorse towards the losers. History books are what enable the despicable. Just as the grave of the defeated, the slightest bias could smother the greatest wisdom. A mirror of copper may reflect your appearance, but how can a mirror of false histories reflect the past? When the barbarians brought down the state of Wei, Confucius omitted to save face for Duke Huan of Qi. Protect history and pursue the truth indeed. That is what the victor's paragons amount to. The truth has neither need for stories, hearsay, records, nor legends. All victory and the defeat in this world rests in the palm of my hands, the god before you. What need have I to proclaim anything? Hey, real god or not, anyone who messes with my torch is going to pay. Thank you, clown face. Okay, thank you. Any more word soup you got? So many years you've spent in this cocoon, and the aggravating way of speaking hasn't changed one bit. It really is a shame that your methods are still as lacking as before. I am running out of air in my fucking head. Your ability to control one's perception is ultimately based on one's understanding, and I doubt the little fairy before you can comprehend your grand schemes. As for me, what do you plan to do against long-range communication from outside the Great Hakone Barrier? How many victories do you think it took for you to get here? Every victory you obtain is one more opening for me to exploit. I needn't do anything. How much of the past do you remember with your perception all scrambled, I wonder? Before you went berserk, before you were purified, you could say. In the first place, those scraps of your soul that were barely salvaged was riddled with the seeds of pride, enmity, obduracy, deception, and countless other negatives. It's only when pride becomes resolve and obduracy becomes justice that the remnants of your soul become a collection of the resolutions you had when you were alive, and purifying these resolutions could have only resulted in madness. You were always pretending to be something you weren't, and always pretending your true goal was to unearth what you never buried, and above all, always relying on the sympathy I felt and the admiration she once held for her late king. The slightest bias can smother the greatest wisdom. Any resolution you may have had when you long buried by the bias of the world yourself, and you can continue to deceive the world. You may be able to deceive us, but you can't deceive everyone forever. And what's that coming from a puppet on the strings of hatred? Victory to me, as an impurity is to you. There can only be one outcome for a victor who stands before me. Why don't you check on your own memory link? It seems you still don't get it, but victory or not, your fate was sealed the moment you received this message. Let's end this. Saying any more would just be a waste of time. Ne'er a king neath the hilled ruin. Something. Chat. It has taken more energy to read the dialogue at the speed at which it scrolls than to play the game. Why do they keep firing wooden artifacts at me? Isolation. I know what they are, but like everybody's got one. They love this thing. Chat, is this a fucking timeout spell again? Tired of it. They fire arrows behind them. Oh! Oh! That's alright. Not like DPS matters for this spell card. Not like it fucking matters. Fuck you. Well, that was close. That. Emotionalism Bauki. Am I dodging this or am I not dodging it? I don't know! You gotta appreciate the effort to just, instead of firing bullets, just fire the launcher of the bullets at me. Like, that's not how you're supposed to use those, but I mean, it is a big fucking wooden object with a sharp point next to it, so if I got hit by it, I'm sure it would hurt, but like, what? What a weapon of choice. Obstinance. Book of Years. Right to the dome at the end. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Pure innocent naivety. Somewhere in the other worlds, two figures stood together. Okay. You advance the text. Yes, I can advance the text, but I don't have to. Like 85%? 85% of that text auto-scroll just by me reading it and getting to the end. When you add so many features to Apollo's mirror, and not only can it be used for long-distance communication, it can be used as a portal. It was just for fun, honestly. It did turn into quite the convenient device, though, didn't it? You can tell when I'm pressing the button because there's a sound effect. I'm back! That was a pretty strong cut. I gave her such a beating, and she still got away. Kill her. Squaring off against the lunatic and getting away unscathed is already a great achievement in itself. Speaking of, you still haven't told me anything about her yet. She's just someone who's still lost, even after living for 3,000 years. The biases of mortal men changed her, and her own ludicrous biases proved to be her undoing. She said it herself, the slightest bias can smother the greatest wisdom. Her own words have become a footnote in this tragedy. From the moment of her resurrection, she held the firm belief that history is written by the victors. The most senseless, venomous lie there is. She thought honest praise to be faux hyperbole, sharp criticism to be malicious slander. Lord Chip. Her half-revived soul and her penchant for seeing the world in black and white has condemned her to never figuring out the reason she failed all those years ago. It's a shame, really. She had at least some measure of competency in her past life. Cloud, you can get out of the mirror now. You can get out of the mirror now. You don't gotta be in there anymore. Say what? Well, color me surprised. You're actually pretty calm when it comes to things that aren't the lunar capital. But I hate the moon. Unfortunately, our little clown piece understood not a single word of your grand speech just now. Hey, that makes two of us. So, do I go track her down again, or... But that won't be necessary. The incident isn't over yet. There's another guest that we need to entertain. I hope it's me. Incidentally, someone had tampered with Apollo's mirror while I wasn't looking. Well, family matters should be up to the family to resolve, after all. Alright, time to set out. The true lord of the Tianzi star shall be the one to awaken her. Good ending number 3. The slightest bias can smother the greatest wisdom. Congratulations on a no continue clear. You can now try the extra stage. Okay, I will try it. Hold Ado to speed up. Hold Beto to freeze screen. Hold Exto to... I don't know. Whoa. Some of those names didn't seem like real people. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Jerry. I'll try the extra stage, but I make no promises. Extra credits thrown in there. Playtesting. Me. No, not me. Where's my special thanks as the player? Did they put themselves in the special thanks as the main sponsor? They did, didn't they? They did do that. And a huge shout out to myself. One last final special shout out from me. Alright. Achievement. Clear the game without using continues as clown. Clear the game with a score of 2.214 billion or higher. Did you know the pinyin for history is she? Now collect 666 of them. Okay, game over. No miss, no bomb. No miss, no bomb. Okay. Extra. Kishui. Extra. Reminiscence of happier times. Clown and Junko. Hyper. White Fox in the Paradise of Clouds. The sky returned against Sokyo. It's a pretty nice fireball, actually. I like that effect. Pleased to meet your acquaintance, dear guest. I have a welcome prepared just for you. Xinyao Xianzi, would you be so kind as to accept this humble gift of ours? Flying Flowers Contest. You're the fox that was chasing me around the main game. It's a fucking timeout spell. I panicked! Okay, she's dead. I have removed her. I'm not going up there. Okay. Okay. Alright. You're a little close. Doink. Boss orb. I'm not hitting something that I should be hitting right now. Ooh, pretty. Okay. That's nice. Oh my god, what? This is the stage that never ends. Okay. All right. Who the fuck are you? Whoa, this place is so pretty. Tianzi Gonglian with her 7, 8, 10 spell cards, maybe. So pray tell, what grand idea of yours was that you brought you to get Sokyo? It's been some time, but you can save the verbiage. Oh, that would be a fucking first. Goddess of links, whose bond form change. Please, it would be terribly unbecoming of me to not show hospitality to a friend who came from afar. Oh, are you a friend of Lady Hecatia's friend? That means you're Lady Hecatia's friend's friend. I pressed the A button and it moved the text. It's been so long that I didn't know you had another child. Oh, shit. She's Hecatia's little fairy. I remember you being about her height back when you were still a servant of that nine-tailed fox. To think a single tail of the nine-tailed fox would grow powerful enough to set up a memory link spanning all of Gensokyo. You even used Gensokyo's incident itself as a testbed for optimizing your own network, iterating through more than 10 visions without anyone noticing is quite the feat, I tell you. Haha, but I thought everyone had their eyes on me from the start. Or, well, you could say that this network was built with the purpose of being discovered. I'm not pressing a button again. I'd ask why you're willing to go so far for that girl, but I've already gotten tired of it. Despite not knowing why, you were always willing to lend me a hand when I asked for it. You probably do have an idea of why, even if you're more of a hindrance than a help. Please, her folly is her own, not mine. You know as well as I do that my ability of purification is merely to manipulate the pure force held by objects before they gained a name. Using it on her would only... Remember this, Clown Piece. If you defeat is named victory, then purifying victory would be purifying defeat. What does that mean? If folly is named brilliance, then purifying brilliance would be purifying folly. I hope to avoid this mistake when we take on the lunar capital. Gotcha. See, I know all those words, but when you string them together like that, it all sounds like nonsense. Fucking thank you. Thank you. You are representing the player right now, Clown. Yeah, I get the feeling that things are going in an unfavorable direction. Ridiculous. For all my efforts to prevent the kingdom from choking any further, nothing changed. For all my efforts in reviving her just resolutions, she couldn't overcome her own delusion. I've entered the hearts of countless people, yet only her heart remained out of reach. I've forged countless bonds, yet my own bond remains unreciprocated. Nevertheless, after these thousands of years, the plotting, the regret, the frustration, the mourning, I think I'll still choose to pause while beauty and longing are before me. Look at me, talking to myself again. My obsession can scare even myself sometimes. Feel free to pour your heart out, I'll listen. Thousand Dynasties, Daybreak Serenade, Intermittent... That's all, folks. Ready to play. 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 I'm ready. Okay. Yoink. Chat, you're not gonna fucking believe this. You're not gonna believe this, but my nose is itchy again. Don't hit me. This is another timeout spell! Why? Stop doing timeout spells. Okay, you know what? To be fair, extra bosses do pretty much always have a timeout spell, but it's not their first fucking spell card. Maybe it's better to get it over with than to deal with it at the end, but come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sick of them. Every boss has had one since the 4th boss. Oh, what's going on? Stop. 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 Oh. Yoink. Sorrowful it is to part to grieve. I was reading the name of the spell card. I wasn't looking at the laser. Ooh, I like this part of the song. Yeah, I had a feeling I fucked that up. She has a bomb shield, obviously, but it's fine. I'll just move close enough to her that I can squeeze around these. I'm really enjoying this music. I think it's really good. Whoa! Okay, as long as I'm not in the lane, the ball doesn't reach me. I think. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. And now my nose is itchy again! I realize the moon doesn't do damage unless I go touch her. I did it again. I get hit, and I panic. And then I press bomb. That was pretty neat. I like the idea of that one, but I just didn't play it well, because I am jackass. Is this good? Should I be out of this? Should I be in this? Oh, bollocks. Oh my god. Ah! GG, tough matchup. Are those good to be in or bad to be in? I found my answer. I think. I don't really know. The only thing that matters to me is not another fucking time mode spell. That was foolish. Why did I think I was better than I am? Where would you be without hit protection, streamer? Nowhere. I'd be nowhere. Oh! I can't help it, man. I can't focus. My nose is itchy. Ah! Ah! Oh. My thumb's getting tired. I know how that sounds, but like, yeah, it's just getting tired. Timeout spell. Timeout spell number 2! I'll go to the A button. Woo! Okay. So life shall be the journey I walk with care. Grudge bow, grudge bow, grudge bow, grudge bow. I do really like the music for this boss fight, though. Stop, 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 stop! I keep seeing the cherry blossoms, and I keep thinking they're bullets, and I keep trying to dodge them. Yeah, alright. Whatever, just fucking explode. Good lord. Hey, are you really sure you're not using me as a target practice for the next invasion of the lunar capital? Something on this level would hardly get even Clown Piece excited. I thought I was going to die! Seems the incident resolvers have finally noticed. All of them are heading towards here as we speak. Well, that and a duo I've never seen before. How curious. Now that you have stabilized enough memory network, you'll be able to use it to stabilize your connection with her, and provided it works, you could very well awaken those virtues that have been sealed inside her. How does it feel after waiting for so long? Should I say I'm unexpectedly calm? It's already written all over your face. Okay, fine, we still have a bit of time before Raven and Marissa get here, so could I ask a little favor of you? There's one last condition that needs to be met for this memory network to function. Tell Miss Sakata you have the same memory network would have established in Hell, and on the condition that I give her full control over it, she would be willing to give me the child Miyata's reincarnated body and all the memories of her ancestors in exchange. Having to work under Lord Yama for hundreds of years all alone while cut off from everything she knows in Gensokyo is just too much for the poor girl. That would explain Aku's inclusion in this game, huh? Rather than that, having her memory stay in Gensokyo to have her truly become a link between Hell, humans, and yokai would be more beneficial to both parties, I believe. It's also something of a wish she's always had. Good ending. Aku lives on in spirit. A daring yet irrefusable request. Indeed, attracting our attention was within your calculations too, I see. I like this, like, real serious conversation these characters have when they all look like this. Miss bonus. No bonus. You lose. A friend from afar. That's me. Clear the extra stage without using continues as clown piece. I'm surprised you're allowed to use continues in the extra stage. Cool. Clear the extra without using continues with all characters. Clear the game with a score of 2.24 billion. 2.214 billion. Music room. Why am I missing a theme? Why am I missing music? That's kind of strange, don't you think? Something after the credits? What's going on there? Dream-woven somniloquy. Unobservable undercurrent. Title screen theme. A song ordinary and relaxing. A song boundless and endless. A song akin to a soliloquy. Missing the game over theme. Okay. Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum. Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum. Ba-dum bum ba-da-dum dum bum. God damn it! Yeah. Really? 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 No, not really. Really? Yeah, really. Okay. Let me go back to the music room. Path of... Wait, what? Stage 1 theme. The song was named after it had been made. From a story perspective, a more intense opening might have been more appropriate, but I think a more upbeat opening is still better. Shame the village streets don't have many flowers at this time, though. It's the path of flowers perfumed by alcohol. Parade with the boo jar. Akako Kojiaku's theme. Hopefully I can make some more Zun... Zun-ish. I thought while making this, I mean, she is a sake buglul. In plains, the forget-me-not blooms. Stage 2 theme. This is one of those more urgent-sounding songs. It seems our protagonists have found something interesting in these quiet plains. Flip side of the world. Truth in the mirror. Yayoi Shoyo-san's theme, a yokai of history, sounds pretty powerful. Unfortunately, it hadn't the slightest bit to do with the main story. This song essentially has the feeling of an easygoing, carefree melody taking turns with the usual melody, though which side is the flip side exactly? Lest Bahavagra be above the clouds. This is my favorite stage, actually. I thought this stage was very cool, with it being in the rain and then actually having rain effects on you. I thought this stage was really, really cool. Pattering rain, dense fog, scattered reflections, the story slowly but surely coming to a head. That's the kind of stage this feels like. Did you feel a sense of relief after the intense boss battle from the last stage? Careful, lest you get shot down. It does take a while before you really have to deal with anything dangerous, but it is nice. Suddenly letting your guard down and trusting everything you hear might just lead you to a bad end. Vast clouds perform a Sheng melody. Woody Zia. Zaya? I don't know, dude. Zia's theme. It sounds like an energetic Chinese young girl, which, yeah, that's what I had in mind when I composed this. Northern smoke signals the south foothill. Stage 4 theme. I've always wondered how a southerner from another time would feel gazing at the faraway mountains in the north. In my opinion, geography, ethnicity, or culture aren't necessarily barriers between people. I think the song came out pretty well. I did want to change the name, but I think the current one is good enough as is. The first generations of southerners had arrived in a strange and unfamiliar land. Some decide to settle down and make it their home, others decide to venture further south. Regardless, when they're finished with the day's work at the foothills and they see the land of the north up in smoke, I'm sure most of them would let out a sigh for their homeland. Southerly Purple Air, Austral Pearl. Ganmu Lanzo's theme. I made this based on the idea of a hermit who had come down from the mountain on a leisurely visit to the mortal realm, though that interlude in the middle might lead towards a feeling of agile grace. Blood Red Thunderclap. Stage 5 theme. The first time trying out adding some more folk instruments into a Chinese-style composition. The Zhao flute especially is one I've grown quite fond of. What Su Dongpo said about it was on point. There's still a strong Touhou flavor in the song, but I think that's a given. Lol. Also, the thunder sound effects I found online is great. Totally keeping it for next time. Magnitudes dare decry the thunderous voice, godless god. Chao He Yingdu's theme. The stage stars a loyal to the false servant of the kingdom, so I designed the song to feel like an austere battlefield with a regal hint of tragedy. Echoes of a shattered palace. Stage 6 theme. This song was made to work with the scene of the protagonist entering the ruined palace. It's a Chinese-style composition that borrows parts of the melody from the Stage 6 boss theme. They're all around a sense of disarray. The glory of the palace had long faded, leaving behind empty ruins. The song focuses more on the story than anything, conveying the reminiscence of the past and the lamentation of the present. So of course there needed to be a more regal element to the song, to hint at the majesty this palace once had, and the power once held by its king. There's also the slight feeling of a vast expanse at the end, in contrast to the Stage 6 boss's theme. The song's focus is on its atmosphere, of the feeling of the broken palace and the sudden shift in history. Ne'er king neath the hilled ruins, Her Mamene contemporanea. Ying Shou, Lord of the Tianzi stars theme. The first impression I got was a ruler crying out as certain doom approaches, all efforts to salvage the situation in vain. So I tried to have the melody express her feelings as well as her story. How do you think this boss theme combined with such a story-driven melody sounds? White Fox's Paradise in the Clouds. Extra stage theme. For this one, I decided to go back to basics and use the usual tones, going back to the melody and chords themselves. The composition is relatively simple, so it's like telling the player that they can ease up a bit having gotten here, kinda. Thousand Dynasties and Daybreak Serenade. Intermittent Dendrogrow. Dendrogrow? Tianzi Gong Lian Er's theme. I made this as a sort of a pure old Touhou style song. I like composing traditional songs. Someone who, after going through so many things, still chooses to stop before beauty and longing. That's what I wanted to express. I mean, everyone of us has a sort of link to Gensokyo, don't we? This is my favorite track in the game. Mortal Manual, as opposed to Immortal Immanuel. Ending theme, a mishmash of some sharper instruments paired with an exceedingly routine style of composing. Honestly, if this were vanilla with every song I compose, I'd probably be able to make like 9 or 10 songs a day. No, serious. Fields and wastelands, pottery, barriers between hearts. Credit themes. Nothing ties everything together better than a loud and bombastic ending. I chose a very rhythmic section for the original song, and then I did a bit of a switcheroo between the more bouncy and the more climactic expressions. You know, the one from ancient Greece that presides over the flute. Signal lost. Player's score. Okay. Who was Immanuel? Why are they immortal? I'm willing to bet that me picking Junko was like the worst choice for this game because there was so much Chinese history and the text speed was impossible to keep up with. So, like, the game didn't even have to be in English because I picked up so fucking little information that it didn't matter if I could read it or not because none of it made any sense. Why do they all talk so much, dude? Why do they all talk so much? Well, listen, it's not that there's a problem with lengthy dialogue, but the way Touhou does it is that Touhou splits it up so there's only a certain amount of dialogue you get in boxes, so they're split up like that. This game put whole ass paragraphs in a text box that stays on screen for 10 seconds, and then when it ends, it goes into another text box paragraph for 10 seconds. And then Clown comes in and is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I have to sit there and be like, I don't know, Clown. And then they do it again right after that. I wanted to split the dialogue, but the devs didn't allow it. It would break replays. Brother, their dialogue needs to be cut, regardless of it being in English. Maybe it takes up less room if it's in Japanese. I don't fucking know. But it was hard to read. Wasn't there a button for slowing down in the controls? There was a button for slowing down text? What? There's no way. Dialogue next, dialogue skip. Playback is for replays. Playback is for replays. There's no button to pause dialogue. There's a button to skip dialogue. Okay. Well, you know what? It was a very pretty game. It was a very pretty game, and I do think it's funny though. The art style is very cutesy, and then they have these like real conversations. And it's like, Rainbow, you are pudding. You are pudding. Stop talking about Junko. Stop talking about Chinese history like you aren't like pudding. Stop that. Come on. But the patterns are cool. The music's pretty good. The visuals. Now the impressive part about the visuals is that the game didn't lag. That's a big one. There was one I played a while back that I actually got a comment from the devs about it. Well after the fact, but it was the Onry Boro game that I played when I was playing demos, and I mentioned how that game has a bunch of slowdown portions in it. And I get that you want to have showy backgrounds and you want to have visual flair, but in a genre like this, if your visual flair is compromising frame rates, that's not acceptable. That's just not acceptable. So obviously you could say, oh, but have a beefy computer and it works forehead. But like, you know, it's usually better when these games are designed with more, you know, more general in mind. But you can turn effects off. You can turn effects off to make the game run better for sure. But obviously, if you're making a Touhou game and the only way you can run it at its the developer intended like visual medium is to have latest graphics card on the market, not a lot of people are going to be able to appreciate that work. Pretty sure most Touhou players talk about how they basically play these games on fucking computers powered by electrical currents provided by potatoes. Some people talk about their PC like they got it for $100 from a crack addict, and that's what they've been running on for the past 15 years. That is their that's a Touhou player's PC, not mine. Mine is only 5 years old, and I got it from a possible crack addict. Not confirmed nor denied. I don't know his life. He just sold it to me. But my PC is old-ish. Not like a dinosaur, but it's oldish. But I ran this game with its, I assume, defaults. I didn't mess with anything. No, I didn't mess with anything. But there's not really any way to mess with backgrounds and stuff in this one. But no, it runs really well. It runs really well. There's only a few patterns that I can think of that kind of blindside you, which is annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Too many timeouts. Too many timeouts. All right? I don't care what your philosophy is. Timeouts are boring. They're boring. All right? You get just as much out of a timeout that as if you made it a regular spell card. But when the player is there for 20 seconds and they're like, why am I still here? And they look up and they see there's no health bar they're shooting and there's a timer, they're like, oh great, I'm having fun. And every boss had one. The extra boss had 2. She had 2. And every boss after the demo had one. Stage 4 boss, timeout. Stage 5 boss, timeout. Stage 6 boss, timeout. You don't all fucking need timeouts. You don't need them. You don't. I don't care. Streamer, they're only 40 seconds. I don't care how long they take. You know why? Because it takes less than 20 seconds to shoot a spell card down. And like I said earlier, spell cards, when you do balance with spell cards, you want to strike a balance of making the spell card pretty to look at and not overstay its welcome. But also, there's elements where they speed up, so if the player like actively does something to elongate, they get punished for it. Or the spell card in general usually can push players away, then they try not to make it ramp up too crazy. Like we got rage phases, right? So some spell cards in Touhou, they get faster the longer they go, and there's a lot of spell cards that you don't even see the maximum speed that the patterns reach, because they're designed with the idea that you're shooting at them actively and they're going to go down. But there are aspects that kind of tell the player, hey, if you just sit there and wait, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you. But there are also some spell cards that reach their maximum potency around the last 5-ish seconds that you're actively shooting them on, and they don't go beyond that. And so at that point, it's like if you do kind of expand it. Like think of Yoshika, for example. Yoshika's timeout spell, I'm calling it that. Yoshika's final, which is basically treated as a timeout spell most of the time, that pattern doesn't change, right? It doesn't get faster, it doesn't get denser. It's just the same thing for 45 plus seconds. But that pattern is intended for you to shoot down, but then it's also like one of the worst patterns in the series. So it turns into a timeout, and you're just kind of surviving a couple lanes and squeezing between lasers, and it's like, this is not fun. But if you try to capture the spell card, it's very difficult. And if you get hit, then the problem I have with that one is that if you actively try to do the spell card and you get hit, then you have to go sit your ass down and play the timeout anyway. Unless you're basically on the cusp of beating her, if you get hit early enough on that spell card trying to do it, you are told to go sit in the corner, because at that point, you've lost power, and Yoshika has healed, and now you can try again and suffer the same fucking fate, or you can go over there and sit down for 40 seconds until Yoshika explodes on her own. That's a terrible spell card. But that one doesn't change at all from the way it goes, right? That one is the same right from the get-go. But there are some spell cards that they ramp up the speed. Murasa's got a funny one, because Murasa has their spell card. Her second spell card doesn't have a speed cap. And so her spell card progressively gets faster, but it's capped out by its own timer. So it'll only ever reach the maximum speed of the timer, of course. But that one naturally gets faster the longer you take. But you probably won't really see it increasing that much speed. You'll notice it a little bit, because it'll reach a decent amount of speed by the time you're near the end of it, and that's good. And if you delay it, you'll notice it get a little faster, and that's fine. You have Yuyuko's first spell card, or sorry, not first spell card, Yuyuko's final spell card, I think it is, in 10 Desires, where that one, even though it's a stage 1 boss, so she doesn't have a lot of health, there's a timer on it, it gets slowly faster as it goes on, and if you shoot it down, it's a stage 1 spell card. If you let Yuyuko continue to attack, it speeds up to a degree that it is actually very dense and very difficult. But that's the kind of design that I think is good, because it does enough as a stage 1 boss that if you're playing the game as intended, you're not going to see it get to these crazy levels, but it is going to ramp up and it's going to get more difficult as you go into it. But if you do decide to just fucking chill and not attack her, then the game slaps you across the face for being an asshole. The timeout spells, my issue with timeout spells is that they usually go like this. You have to minimum of 1 minute to wait. A minimum of 1 minute to wait. The first 30 seconds, the first 30 to 40 seconds are a pattern that just kind of shifts. So you get pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, and those are the fun ones. Those are the 90-second ones that the extra stage bosses tend to use, where they do try to keep you engaged a little bit. They try to change things up a little bit. But some timeout spells, it literally is just, here's what you're doing, and it's going to get a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, and then in the last 5 to 10 seconds, it's gonna get to a level of speed that is just annoying. So you're probably gonna get hit. But it seems like that's like the design philosophy of the timeout spells. It's okay if the last 5 seconds turn into a shit fest, because the spell card's over anyway, and you totally dodged it, and you earned it, big man. But no. They also all love to do this thing where they condense the playing field to basically like a fucking control stick wiggles amount of room. That happens a lot too, where you're just playing in the whole screen, and then in the last 5 seconds you have about 3 pixels of movement you're allowed to make to dodge the final bit, and then it's like, congratulations, you did it. And they always put these timeout spells on the penultimates for extra bosses, and they're just not very fun. I don't think they're fun. They're not fun, because they just keep you doing the same thing for 40 seconds without any advancement on the player, until suddenly they're like, all right, dodge this asshole, and then you either get hit and you're like, well, that was fucking cool, or you dodge it and you're like, great, let's get to the next one. So that's my personal opinion on timeout spells. In short, I don't like them. But aside from the timeout spells, there was a lot of good visual flair to these spell cards. I liked them. I liked that game. I thought it was fun. And you know what? I could beat it. I beat that game. I beat that game, and I beat the extra stage. Why? Because the game had a built-in mechanic that made it so if you didn't burn your hyper, it took a hit for you. So I took a lot of hits like that. But that's not important. What's important is that Streamer won, and Streamer learned so much Chinese history that he will now proceed to forget about because the text scrolled too fast. Cool.